Hi and welcome everyone to our 47th episode of The Little Inside. Mysteriously, my name is still Tobi, and this week we're going to have a look at two modes of mind training. So let's get started right after the intro. When it comes to spiritual practice, to meditation or mind training, then I think it's always really helpful to have something that is both simple and practical. You don't want to have something that's overly complex, for it doesn't lead to peace. It doesn't lead to actually the stilling of the mental fabrications, all the stuff that goes on in our mind, and it leads to more complexity. So it should be simple. And it should be practical. It should be something that we can do right now, right here. So in this episode, I'm going to boil the practice down to just two facets. One is the facet of presence, and the other is the facet of decision making. So what is presence? Well, quite simply, presence is the art of coming into this moment, bringing your attention into this moment. How can you do that? Well, you could listen to the sounds that are all around you. Maybe there's some birds that you're hearing right now. Maybe it's my voice that you're listening to right now. You could also use feelings. It's a very popular one as well. You can use the feelings of your feet actually touching the floor, or the feelings of your body sitting right now or standing. How does it feel like when you're standing? Maybe there's some wind brushing over your skin. Maybe there is a feeling just internally of the body, a feeling of aliveness. Now you can use that. You can also use sight, like for example, seeing this video right now, looking at this video, or looking around in your room, seeing things, picking up sights with your eyes. So all those three senses, I use only those three because most of the time during our life, there are those three senses. Of course, when you eat your food, you also have taste. You can become present if you're using taste. Or, for example, smell, when you are smelling a flower, or when you are smelling an essential oil that you put on or something like this. You can also pay attention to that. But the three most predominant senses are sights, sounds, and physical feelings that we have. So all the five senses could be an anchor to bring you into this moment. And the reason for that is quite simply, your body is already here. Your body is already present. It's the mind that wanders off into past thoughts, into memories. It wanders off into anticipations. It goes off into the future, hoping to find something there or in the past. And so this wandering off mind is basically not here together with the body. So presence really means that your body, the five senses, and the mind become unified. So when there is hearing, when there is sound, you're there with the sound. When there is feeling of the body sitting, as my body is sitting right now, and I feel it is sitting, then there is a unification. Or right now I'm talking, so there is sounds going on. I can pay attention to the vibration of the sounds. I feel them in my body, or I listen to the sounds, just one after another coming out of my mouth. So there's many, many different ways of bringing your attention into the body right here, right now. And I call that presence. That's one facet of the practice. You can do that throughout the entire day, even throughout the entire night. If you get really, really good at this, you can become present. Whether it is in your dreams or when you're waking up during the night, you can immediately come into the body, feeling, hearing, seeing maybe. This is what I consider the most basic element of good mind training. Be here. But quite obviously, this is not enough to just be here. We also do have to plan. We do have to have goals. Having goals, having a sense of purpose, this is all part of life too. So you can't just push that out of the window, particularly in the beginning. That is not possible. On later stages, you'll even let go of that. But in the beginning stages, you can only pretend to let go of planning. You can only pretend to let go of actually having a purpose or having a goal. And then very often it turns into this fake kind of letting go, and that you turn into this kind of spiritual persona, which is very floaty. It's just floating above the world, wearing special clothes, feeling very, very high level, spiritual minded, that kind of thing. That is not the right type of letting go. You always want to be down to earth with spiritual practice. Some of the best spiritual practitioners that I've met in my life are very down-to-earth people. They're not at all floaty, and they have no need to wear any special clothes to show their spirituality off into the world, or talk in very special ways with a very soft voice, and follow very special habits to kind of... This is all about creating a self rather than going beyond the ego. It creates a spiritual ego. So that is not what decision making and goal finding is all about. This is the second part, right? The second part of the spiritual training then is all about making decisions, having goals, having a sense of purpose, not being scared of engaging this world in positive ways, actually making a difference with your presence. So how can you use your presence and your decision-making ability together? How is that possible? Well, first of all, let go of anticipation and let go of memories. Let go of all the thoughts about past and future in your head and come into this moment. Thereby, you are allowing quality to flow into this moment. You're coming into this moment, you're bringing stillness into this moment. You're upping the level of quality of life in this very second. So that's a very necessary step. Now, when you are here and you're engaging life with this quality of silence and presence, then you can make decisions based upon that. You can make decisions that are harmless. You can make decisions that are kind, decisions that are beneficial, because you are beyond the suffering of, oh my God, what is going to happen to me? Or, oh, I wish that did not happen to me. You're beyond that drama. So you are clear-minded. You are free to make empowered, positive, and uplifting decisions because you're acting beyond. There is a majority of fear. When you let go of future and past, a majority of fear falls away. It's not there anymore in your life. So then you can make decisions that are supportive, that are constructive, that are useful both for yourself and other people. So in short, you have two ways to make decisions. The first way is what I call unwholesome decisions. You can make decisions that are based on destructive emotions, destructive thoughts, fear, anger, hate, jealousy, you name it, all the negative spectrum of experiences. If you make your decisions, guilt and shame, for example, if you make your decisions based on those, then what do you expect the results of your decisions to be? Better? Does your life get better if you act based on fear? Does your life get better if you act based on anger? Well, of course not. We all know that. So there's the other part, right? There's wholesome decisions. Wholesome decisions meaning all those decisions that are moved and motivated, that are based on wholesome emotions, wholesome thought patterns, wholesome mental states, like kindness, the wish for someone to be happy, the wish for someone to experience well-being, compassion, the wish for people to be free from stress, from tension, from suffering. And all those motivating factors, they create beautiful actions. They create constructive actions, actions that are beneficial both for yourself and the community you live in, for other beings, in any way, in all ways, actually. So we want to create as much goodness as possible, and we want to let go of as much harm as possible, basing our decisions upon these two criteria, you see, letting go of harm and cultivating benefit. That's the way we should make decisions if we are aiming for a life that leads to long-term benefit, well-being and happiness, both for ourselves and all others. It's all about these two powers. Presence, which adds quality to your life, which is here in this moment. Life is not something that happens tomorrow or yesterday. It is right here, right now. So if you want to add quality to your life, you want to add presence and awareness, consciousness to your life right now in this moment, the first step. Based upon that quality, then you start making decisions that lack fear, decisions that do not come from harmful memories, from guilt, from shame, decisions that do not lead to more paralysis, but decisions that lead to more freedom, more joy, and better states for all of us. That way you cultivate presence and decision making in one. It's a really important topic. Many people think that spiritual practice is just only about presence and you just only need to be here and now. Yes, that's true, particularly in the later stages of practice, but what about the element of action? It's not only just about being, and it's not only just about acting. You want to have them combined, balanced out nicely. They should be in harmony together. Action and being, doing and being. These two, if you can combine them properly, you have a very harmonious, very uplifting practice. So many people that just want to let go into presence, that just want their thoughts to float by, their emotions to float by without actually taking action. These people often operate from a fear, a deeper fear. We're too afraid to face ourselves and to act based upon what we face constructively. So there's a sort of laziness. Well, I'm very spiritual. I'm just letting everything pass by without taking action, right? That the example that Ajahn Brahm actually gives in one of his talks, it's a beautiful example. It's imagine you put a security guard in front of your house before you go to holiday, and you come back from your holidays and the door is broken in and all the stuff of your house is gone. The security guard is still there. So you ask the security guard, well, what have you done? And the security guard says, well, as you've advised me before you went into holidays, be mindful. So I was mindful. And there were a bunch of robbers. They came into your house and they stole away all your stuff. And I was very mindful of them. The robber entered your house and then he went out with the TV and then he went out with your jewelry. And I just saw all of that and I noticed it mindfully. So this is the wrong type of mindfulness. This is the wrong type of presence. You just don't want to let everything happen. The element of action, of actually abandoning harmful actions and cultivating positive action, has to play 50% of the path. And so there's this 50% of presence, 50% of creative and skillful action. Combine them nicely, you have a 100% valid spiritual path. Particularly that is true in the beginning, the intermediate stages of the spiritual path where we're all at. The higher stages, we don't need to worry about them before we do not reach them. But we need to act well and let go well. If that's in harmony, you do really well. So this is all for episode 47. I hope it was helpful and meaningful to some of you and kind of clearly illustrated again that the path is not just only about letting go and not just only about acting. It is in a nice balance together. I hope it inspired you also to act well and to let go well and to enjoy a life that is uplifting both for yourself and others. Now, if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to share them down in the comment section below. Always happy to read your comments. And well, for now, I think that's good enough. So I'm looking forward to see all of you again next Wednesday for the next episode. Bye-bye.